welcome to the studio at African Utility Week in Power Gen Africa. Today I am speaking with Romain and Benjamin Attia. Welcome Romain and Benjamin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to be talking about investment in the market in the African sector. Benjamin, to start off with, how has the delayed IRP in South Africa impacted on investment?
Sure. Well, particularly in the renewables space, it's actually halted the investment altogether. So the market is pretty much on hold right now as we're waiting for the fifth bid window to be opened after the IRP is finalized. And as a result of that, we've really seen investors sort of pulling back or being a bit more cautious as there's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now.
All right. And do you think this is going to carry on for a lot longer?
At least a few more months, yeah.
All right. And we also need to look at unlocking large-scale investment. Do you think that this is something we need to be looking at specifically in Africa?
I think what we're seeing is an increasingly more diverse and dynamic landscape. And I think we should stay away from kind of the big bang, kind of white elephant approach. Three key trends are going to drive the sector forward. As Benjamin said, renewable energy is there. What we're also seeing is a shift away or focus away from generation towards transmission and distribution. And lastly, the old traditional kind of what your generation mix, we're seeing a paradigm shift towards what we call the distribution mix with off-grid, CNI, and on-grid.
All right. I just want to touch again back on what you were saying about the renewables. That needs a lot of investment as well, and people need to understand that the market is safe. Do you think that is the case?
Once the IRP is finalized and the fifth bid window is announced, I do think that investment will return. But right now we've had a very long period of investor uncertainty and regulatory uncertainty, and as a result of that, as well as the troubles with Eskom, it's a very difficult market for new investors to enter, particularly in the renewable space.
So looking at digitalization in the investment market, how has this been impacted? Is it something that the financial guys are looking at?
So the biggest way that we see digitalization affecting the investment landscape is looking at the off-grid space. So if you think about the pay-as-you-go business model, which is entirely dependent on the GSM infrastructure and the digitized platforms that allow these transactions to occur, we've seen over 90% of investment that's gone into off-grid energy access focused on pay-as-you-go solutions. All
right, so let's look a bit about trends and what we can look forward to in 2020.
I think if you just what Benjamin's saying is saying the investment opportunity is becoming more complex, okay? And what it means, why? Because if you look at the main indicators, economic, social, and governance, the performance has been very uneven across the continent. So we're talking more about a micro story, right? To look at the macro, the fundamentals coming down. Within that, you got three big intercorrelated trends. The first one is governance, and we've seen a number of big countries where corruption level is increasing. The second one is debt level, and again, across the continent, average debt to GDP has reached 60%. And the third one is inclusive economic growth. So the combination of these three factors will make that your country become attractive or unattractive. And what we're going to see is a bipolarization or polarization of the investment universe across the continent. And that will drive both on-grid and off-grid investment.
Another thing we're seeing too in the financial landscape is that as we see lower cost renewables, that cost trend continues to come down. As a result of that, there's a bit of a long-term question around how conventional assets, particularly new build coal and natural gas, will fare in the 30 or 40 year horizon compared to solar that's now below $40 per megawatt hour.
Thank you so much. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel now for more industry-related content.